Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and iOS 12.3 Beta 2 has been out for a few days. I've been using it primarily on my iPhone XR and a little bit on the XS Max, and wanted to talk about how it's been for me. Now, we'll talk about battery in just a moment, but I also did run a YouTube community poll that I do every time before I make one of these videos. So if you're interested in that, go to my community page on the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see what the poll is, participate in that, and let us know if you've had any issues. And then I take all of those issues, I read through every one of them, compile a list, and take the top few that seem to be a problem for everyone. Now, battery life for me on this has been pretty much the same as iOS 12.2. So you'll see I have 4 hours and 21 minutes of screen on time. It kind of carries through each day, and that's about, this is today, and that's about with 50% battery life left or so. And that's pretty good, I think. So about 7 to 8 hours of screen on time, sometimes 9. It just depends what we're doing, but I did have 3 hours and 20 minutes of screen off time as well. So it's doing a lot of things in the background with Spark email since I've started trying that out as well. And you'll see there's the background time as well. So it's been okay. I haven't really had any bugs on the XR, and it's been fairly fluid. I haven't had any reboots or anything like that, or lockups, although some people are saying settings is locking up again for them. Now, if we're talking about the XS Max, this is where we seem to have issues. Apparently, people are having a lot of issues with it just freezing. Anything from scrolling to going into settings to going into different apps, it will kind of stutter or have not really smooth scrolling. So it could be here, it could be in a different app like this. It could be anything. It just doesn't scroll that smoothly and can create a problem for some people on the XS Max. I didn't see any issues on the XS or any of the other phones. It seems to be just this one, although if you're experiencing it, let us know in the comments below. Now, Wi-Fi and LTE. LTE seems to be the most problematic. It still seems to be a problem for quite a few people, particularly on the XR, XS, and XS Max. So it seems to be affecting some older devices as well, but more so the newer style devices, just like we thought with the Intel modems and the new antenna design. So there's definitely something going on there. I have had to actually reset airplane mode, or reset the connection using airplane mode before as well. I've had issues, not too many, but occasionally I will have some, and I do have issues with it loading Twitter images and some apps on Wi-Fi. And that's the other problem people were having, is some app crashes. So maybe Twitter crashes or Google or anything you're using, people are saying they're seeing app crashes. However, that is not everyone having those issues. That's just a handful of you. I haven't had any bugs anywhere else, thankfully, on these devices, so they seem to be pretty solid. But let's take a look at the YouTube community poll, and I do have an Apple case on this one. I'll probably take it off soon because I do like to use my phones without a case or screen protector, but I'll link these in the description if you want to check them out. So let's go to the YouTube community poll and see what you had to say, because that was my compiled list. But as you can see here, 16% said it was great, 5% said terrible. I added a new one that said just okay. Some people had said, well, it's not terrible, but it's okay, or okay, but some bugs. Or I'm using an older version here, 67%. So terrible is about average for this time, and just okay is a new metric. But I did read every one of your comments, so I appreciate everyone that's commented here. And if you take a look at, let's go down to the bottom, and we'll take a look at a few of these. I don't want to look at too many. It would take a long time to read all of these. Now, some people were saying battery is great, or the same as 12.2, and others were saying it drains really fast. So it just depends on who's having this experience. It depends on a lot of different factors, from everything from how you use your phones to what apps you're using and what settings you're using. But here's some that I didn't mention. Contacts have been disappearing, and some bugs with Apple TV connectivity on the XS. So that's an issue for some people. And then I also saw this one I thought was interesting. My camera does not open when my brightness is at max. Please help. So if I turn my brightness all the way up, go home, I didn't have this issue. I did try and replicate it. Seems to work okay. There was a little bit of stutter there, but let me turn that down. Let's go and see a couple others. Here's someone that says, this is the first time in any beta I've had problems with an internet connection and lag. It was very bad at the start and seemingly got better, but now and again it hiccups and stalls on my iPhone X. So, like I said, it does seem to be an issue. Here's someone that says it's been good. Wi-Fi seems to be improving so far. It's been the best on beta 2. Battery is really good. Gets through a day and having about 65% left using the iPhone XR. And thanks for the compliment. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to iOS 13 as well. Let's see. Waiting for a jailbreak. Yeah, that may be a while, actually. iPhone 7, iOS 12.2, sometimes LTE and Wi-Fi problems, but battery is good. Like I said, I've found that battery is about the same as 12.2. iPhone 8 Plus running iOS 12.3 Beta 2 seems to be working good. There's been a few minor stutters, but nothing major. I enrolled to the beta program because iOS 12.2 was a complete disaster to my battery. However, this beta seems to help with battery life. And again, thanks for the compliment. iPhone 8 Plus and iPad 2018, better battery and performance with Beta 2. Thinking about a rollback. 12.2 probably won't, or 12.3 probably won't be too far away. Battery life is great on 12.3 on my 6S Plus, and speed-wise, it's one of the best betas I've ever used because performance is so far so good, and I've been experiencing great battery life on my 6S Plus so far. Now, finally, to anyone using the iPhone XR, do you have any issues with sending messages? I got to try a few times, especially with pic messages, iOS 12.2 right now. I personally haven't seen this or haven't heard any complaints, except I think for yourself, but 7 people seem to agree with you. So it may be a problem that's just minor and not widespread. But if you're on the beta, I highly suggest you report feedback with the feedback app that you have installed. And the feedback app will help Apple determine which bugs are more prevalent than others. They'll group them together and work on what's most important first. That's kind of how they do everything. Then once they work out the major bugs, they move down to the minor bugs. So hopefully you were using the feedback app to report that, and that's really all there is for this particular beta. We should see iOS 12.3 probably by May, I would say. It's hard to say specifically, but I'm looking really forward to early June for iOS 13 Beta 1. So that's really what I'm looking forward to. Some major changes, maybe a slight redesign, dark mode, things like that. We'll see those features in that version and then see the full release in September. So I would expect iOS 12.3 Beta 2 to see maybe Beta 3 and 4 and come out in May or so. But let me know how it is for you again in the comments below. Also, if you'd like to get your hands on this wallpaper, I'll link it in the description as I always do. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.